Hello, my name is Dennis Jacobsen, and this is the Business Leadership Academy. This is Videocast number 2, part 2 about this book, Leadership BS, Fixing Workplaces and Careers, One Truth at a Time. Jeffrey Pfeffer, Stanford University, ends out in 2016. One of the best books I've read for many years, provocative, and it made me stand still and think about leaders and leadership practices, what we think we should be getting and what we get in real life. Because to Jeffrey Pfeffer, there's a big disconnect between the literature, the smart people, and the consultancies, how they advocate for a very particular set of thinkings, behaviors, what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And then, what are we seeing in real life? I come to think about the sessions I've sat in where we have designed our dream leaders. Words like modesty, unselfishness, to be trustworthy, speak the truth, to be authentic, eat last, etc., etc., comes out, and it builds this image of a superhuman, which I have sometimes found a little bit difficult to be even close to. To Jeffrey Pfeffer, there's something else going on here, and he says, if you look at something like authenticity and think about it as to be a person behind the name, a person behind the email address, someone who plays to their strength and who's aware of their weaknesses and make sure it doesn't harm others, etc., etc. We all want to work for someone like that. But what we are really getting is potentially someone who is highly, highly selfish. They're driven for their own agenda. They're political animals, and they will pull a dirty trick now and then to get in front of the line rather than stand last. Is this the people you want to work for? When I read the book, it dawned on me that there potentially is a truth that sits somewhere in between and in the middle of all of this. Because on one hand, I would like to, of course, be seen and be working with authentic people. But I also realized that what we are when we step inside a company might not be fully what they want and what they need. Yes, they hire me for their technical skills. They hire me for maybe my strengths and some of my weaknesses, but I'm not the full product yet. I need to be directed in a very particular way and something that is synchronized with the strategy of the company. What I found as a consultant is that as you walk around in companies, the idea about the functional part of your work, what you should be doing, strategy, finance, production, customer service, etc., etc., we are often very well aware of, and we know what it takes to win. But when it comes to behaviors and values and what we should be doing, I found that less so companies have actually taken a stand on it. They have thought well about it, and more so they are drawing consequence from what is right and what might not be so good. To me, it is a matter of understanding where you come from, the DNA of the company, the history, and what we would like to be in the marketplace so that we win. So we can design behaviors out of that. It's about understanding that on the front line we do something very particular to win over the customers. It's about understanding that as leaders we do something very particular in order to lead the organization, to develop it and make it ready for the future. I mean, if we are not asking people to be innovative and to embrace change, how can you see it showing up in organizations? It just won't arrive unless you draw a very particular consequence from that. Which means you reward those who shows up with innovation and change, and you draw a different consequence to those who doesn't. Which to me begs this question. Now, why don't we just construct all of these behaviors as we see them fit and winning trades in the marketplace? Why don't we have the courage to draw consequence, to reward the good ones, and also tell the not so good ones that there might be a different place for you? Because with that, I think you as a company, we as organizations become more efficient, far more profitable, and definitely more resilient to competition and more able to win. More on that when you contact me. For now, read Leadership BS. It's a great book. Thank you very much for listening in. See you soon.